What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Footy with an Edge. We're live like promised. We're going to be live every weekday now moving forward for some important discussion because we have the transfer window coming up, and there's just a lot to talk about our club. I think I need to fix my camera. I'm like leaving the screen here. But yeah, thanks for being with me, guys. We're here to talk about Antoine Semenyo, whether we should go make the signing or there we go. That looks a little better. Let's zoom out a tiny bit. Yeah, boom. Whether we should be making the signing of Antoine Semenyo right now over making it in the summer, and whether he's even going to be available for us in the summer or not, because it's not a guarantee, right? We don't know for sure that he's going to be available when we want him. And that's the concern that I have, because we can sit here all we want and say, Semenyo will be a better signing in the summer, or we should wait for him to have a great full season first before we decide we want to go get him. And a few people are already getting in the comments. Hi, Sagar, or hi, Sagnik, Rory. How you guys doing? Need to fix the camera a bit more. Yeah, that looks better. Hey Devo, nice to see you, man. I haven't seen you before in the comments. Are you new to the channel, new to the stream? Very nice to see you. I'm from Toronto, so not too far away from New York, and I've been a few times this year. So looking forward to being back in New York again. Yeah, guys. So we're talking about Antoine Semenyo. I don't know how to feel about this, because on the one hand, is there a case to be made that Semenyo has already peaked and there's not much more room there for him to grow? But on the other hand, is there a case to be made that this is exactly the type of player we need at the right time, because he has the technical skill set is there for him to be, really, really good in the system, because, excuse me, he can be really good across the front five. So Semenyo gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of playing in the left wing back, the right wing back. He can play the left number 10, the right number 10, or he can play as a striker. So we get a lot of flexibility by playing someone like Antoine Semenyo. But I'll tell you, yeah, Imran, I'm sorry. The content calendar is going crazy, bro. I know. I feel bad too. And I know Semix is in the show here, and maybe James is somewhere watching too. They're going to be a little pissed that I'm going live, 20 minutes after posting the podcast. But it's okay. You guys can go back and watch it, and we'll figure out the content calendar so that this doesn't happen again. Give me 1 second, guys. I have an image to show you, and Rishi was kind enough to do this research and send it over to me. So let me pull this up. Let's go. Okay, so basically what we're looking at here is Semenyo's goal contributions this season, and he hasn't gotten a goal or an assist in his last 6 games. I know that doesn't mean much. Players can go through that all the time, but he started out the season on a tear. He had 1, 2, 3, 4. In 4 games, he had 6 goal contributions. I'm pretty sure the 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he had 6 goal contributions in just 4 games. And he was on an absolute tear. And this actually might not be the whole season. I think he has more goals and assists than that, like throughout the season. But anyways, point being, in the last 6 games, he for Ghana or for his club, he hasn't really done anything. So the question is, like, is this somebody who's a flash in the pan, or is this somebody who's actually good enough for us to keep going? I think the one good thing is I believe Ghana is not in AFCON. So even if we do sign him in January, it's not that he's going to be gone for the first 3 games. He says Brighton, Leeds, and Fulham, though. No, I agree, Rory. That's kind of the point I'm making as well, which is, like, are we sure this guy is somebody that's going to, be someone that comes and takes the next step at United? Or is this somebody that was just having a really good season, had a really good season last year, and will do well now? I'll say this. We have some members in the chat. Rishikesh, how you doing, man? Nice to see you again. I think my point is I've seen Semenyo a fair few times, and the ceiling of what he can do is phenomenal, right? He has that je ne sais quoi quality that not a lot of players have. He has the athleticism. He has this like electric movement, right? The way he can drop his shoulder and get past somebody. I haven't seen that from many players. So that is something that bodes well for him in terms of me saying, let's go get Semenyo. What I'm not so sure about is the mental side of things, right? How he's going to adapt to getting a big move. And let me just see how much money he's making right now. Because that tends to be important, guys, right? Like, is he trying to get a pay bump? Is that why he's playing well? But let me just take a look here. Capology. Semenyo's listed as an English player for some reason. Okay. Yeah, he's currently making £75,000 base and 18,500 bonus, so 93,000 pounds per week. If he comes to United, he's probably getting somewhere between 120 to 150. Right, is my guess. Rishikesh says long day at work. Other than that, fine. Great to see you, man. If we do buy him, where does he play though? Does he replace the current team? So that's a good thing about Semenyo. The good things about Semenyo, right? Let me list them out. One, his athleticism. Two, seems to be coachable because he plays multiple positions for Bournemouth, and he has played that like even last year. And number three is that he comes into this team and he could play any position, right? He could play any of the front five positions and be very good at it. So Imran says, problem is our midfield targets aren't going to be available this January, and Ruben clearly stated we're not signing any stopgap players. Yeah. But Semenyo won't be a stopgap player, right? Joao Gomez is not a stopgap player. So we could be in a position where I think Semenyo's release clause is active for the first 2 weeks, and it's something like, what was it? 60 plus 5. So we could actually end up spending 100 million in January if we get both Semenyo and Gomez. And I wouldn't hate that because that's a good way for us to address AFCON. It's a good way for us to address Casemiro's fitness. It's a good way to address, maybe Bruno Fernandes coming off at the 80th minute or 70th minute instead of playing full 90s every week. Okay, cool. We have Semix, who's graced us with his presence. So we'll bring him into the chat. Semix, how you doing, man? I think people are seeing double, bro. They're seeing us on the podcast and they're seeing us on the live show as well. Both of us barely got sleep. You can tell from the eyes, right? Pay attention to the eyes. We're still reeling from doing the work because he edited the podcast. So Semix is definitely a champ. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. It's nice to see you again. What, 7 hours later?
Yeah,
maybe 8
We're
hours
seeing
later.
each other more than our partners.
Yeah, pretty much. But I do want to touch on some Semenyo stuff that I actually thought about while I was editing the podcast that I never got to say in the podcast. So this is kind of cool that it's not going to be repetitive for anybody who's going to go watch that podcast. And the things are, number one, you're right. Ghana did not make it to the AFCON. So Semenyo can actually join the team literally right away on January 2nd, January 3rd. He could already be a part of the squad. Number two, you were talking about your concerns with, is this a flash in the pan type of performance? Is he going to bring the heat if he happens to come and join us? My take on that, Andy, is that for the price that you're paying for him, it doesn't really matter. You're not going to lose much. We've done a lot worse. We've paid a lot more money for guys we couldn't recoup even half that money back. With Semenyo, after 2 years, if he doesn't make it, you can get more than half your money back. And it's 60 million with 5 million in add-ons. Fabrizio Romano actually confirmed that this morning. I remember we said it in the podcast, and neither one of us was sure exactly where that came from. But he confirmed it this morning. It's 60 million with 5 million in add-ons. So really, if he doesn't perform that well, it's probably only going to cost us 60 million for his caliber of player. And I'm pretty sure we could unload him for 35 or 45 later if we wanted to.
Yeah, but that's kind of the point I'm making, is that I don't want to be in the business of paying the money that we paid for Cunha and then thinking about how do we unload this guy if it doesn't work out, right? I want us to be thinking like, this guy's got to work for us, right? That's the level of surety I want, because I think they went into Cunha and Mbumo thinking like that, saying this guy is going to work, right? So if they're not confident, I don't want them to do it. I'm confident. I agree with you in the sense that he has resale value, right? Like you need to think like that as a club. But my point is that should be like third priority after the first two being, does he fit into the culture and is he going to be good?
Yeah, now for sure, of course, but we're in the business of there's no guarantees. There really isn't. Like even if you are Premier League proven, as they say, as soon as you change clubs, you're surrounded by different tactics, different surroundings, different teammates. There's no assurances, right? There's no way you can ever guarantee someone's going to work out. I don't care who that is. But I understand where you're coming from, and of course, you want your recruitment department to only sign the players they can, risk their careers on, right? Mm-hmm. Where they're like, if this doesn't work out, I lose my job. But you'll see Man City making signings for 100 million, and then they have to sell the person to Everton. It happens.
Yeah. But here's the thing with Man City, though. They have been so good at just walking away from deals. Right? Mm-hmm. If you remember, they were in for Alexis Sanchez, they walked away. They were in for Maguire, they walked away. There's so many signings that even we have made that they were in for, but they just walked away. In fact, if you remember, Riyad Mahrez, they paid about 60 million for it. They wanted to walk away from it for the longest time. And he's one of their greatest contributors. Like people don't deep this, how good Mahrez was for them, how essential he was to them winning the treble, because he would come off the bench and score like 2 goals and be one of their best players on the team. So we need to move like that is my point. I want us to do things that even though the fans are asking for it, they have a really good reason to either do it or not do it. Right? So Semenyo right now, I'll agree, seems like a tap it. It seems like a no-brainer, right? That's what we're both saying. But my point is, they have a lot more analytics. They have a lot more data. They would have spoken to him and his agents. They would have known stuff about him at Bournemouth and previous clubs. So based on that, take a call, right? This is the reason they get paid the big bucks. This is the reason they have the great power and the great responsibility. So that's kind of my point. And I'll say one thing. Somebody asked, why would he even want to play wingback? I'll let you cook on this, Semix, because what people are still not realizing, and this is not widespread knowledge, I get it. I don't blame this guy for feeling that way. Our wingbacks are wingers, guys. You watch Dalot and Ahmad. They are high and wide, hugging the touchline. Any screenshot you want to take with us attacking beyond the first phase of buildup, those guys are hugging the touchline. They're as wide as a right winger and left winger would be. So it's not really a wingback. That's just the name for the position.
I'll take it one further. I totally understand people who come out with those kind of comments or takes because only one of those two that you just named is actually making an impression on the offensive side of the field. Dalot is whiffing on crosses or not sending in great crosses. But if you really deep it and look at Ahmad's numbers, you're not seeing a player that you're saying, oh my God, he's so good because of that defensive stop he made in our back, in our third. It's Ahmad's. What you're seeing is Ahmad's going on dribbles one-on-one on their third. You're seeing Ahmad connect with Mbeumo right around their box. That's where Ahmad's doing most of his work. And so when you think of wing back, remember the first word is wing and the second word is back. It's not back wing. His main job is to attack, and his secondary job is to make sure to track back. So he's playing as a winger who has to track back.
And it's not to be a Wan-Bissaka type player who's putting in last-ditch tackles. It's more to be in the position to be available to help out, right? To track the runner, to be a body on the defensive side is the main job of those guys, especially for Ahmad. Because listen, I mean, he's one of the smaller bodies in our team. But you saw it against the Liverpool game, for example, when Gakpo hit the post the first time, you saw Ahmad like throw himself in the way to try to stop the ball, and he like fell over, right? So that's what Amram wants. He wants the effort. He wants the intelligence to know, like, hey, this guy's like my right center back is going to be doubled up very soon by these two players. So let me go help him out and be the secondary guy, right? And you see Mbeumo doing that too sometimes because he's like, oh, Ahmad's going to get doubled up and the right center back's going to get doubled up. So let me also go help out. So you see the team is about collective responsibility. It's not about a wing back being able to do 10 tackles and interceptions a game. That's not what he wants from his player.
Yeah, and in the last two games, you saw clearly Cunha making tackles all the way by our end line. You saw Mbumo chasing people into our box, and Mbumo was the last defender back there on one of the counterattacks. It wasn't in the Spurs game; it was the game right before that. So if you're gonna say why would somebody want to play wingback in our system, you basically have to say that even about our attacking midfield positions, because even on our attacking midfield positions, you're expected to run back.
Exactly, yeah. And we've seen Cunha drop deep. We've seen Mbumo drop deep. Go check out the Brighton video coverage that I did. I'm sure Samix did the same on his channel, where literally I gave Mbumo man of the match for his defensive contribution in the 8th minute, where he made sure he didn't play Adingra. Was it Adingra? Who was it? No, the other fast guy, Minte. He didn't play Minte offside. Yeah,
I'm bad with names. Game. Never ask me about names.
Minte. Sorry, yeah, Minte. He didn't play Minte offside, and he made sure he tracked him back all the way to the goal line, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like we need to realize that the wingbacks are actually wingers, and we need to realize that Semenyo, at least from afar, I don't know anything about this guy, seems like he has a good attitude. He seems like a coachable player. And you know, one thing I like that people aren't talking about enough, Semix, is that he likes to put in a cross with his left foot. He's not a left-footed player, but I've seen him put the left-footed cross in. And Dorgu is a left-footed player who doesn't put left-footed crosses in. So, I would much rather have Semenyo playing in that role than anybody else. And guys, can you imagine how much the threat level goes up when we have Semenyo and Cunha on the left forming the same partnership that Mbumo and Ahmad have on the right? Right? Because now you can't just pigeonhole us to one side and overload one side and say, we'll worry about whatever comes from the other side. Now you have to worry about both sides. And we could even play Mason Mount as the false nine, right? So they don't have any focal point to focus on, and they just have these wingers on both sides just causing havoc, right? And Mount can cause overloads on both sides as well. So yeah, this could be a very dangerous team. I think I'm talking myself into let's go get him right now.
No, honestly, I'm listening to you talk, and I'm like, they better even try. They just better try. Like, it's okay if he doesn't sign for us and he goes to somebody else, but I don't want to find out that we didn't try.
Yeah. Semix is ready for old school WWE smoke entrance.
Rishi said that I'm streaming in 8K. I don't know how it must look on their end.
I think it's the lighting, because you must have blackout curtains in your room or something, right?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, because there's no sun unless you're in a basement somewhere. Blink twice if you're in trouble. Is your girlfriend forcing you to make these videos, man? You can just let us know.
No. Yeah. No, she wants me to have breakfast with her, but I was like,
yeah, she would much rather you not do this. I get it. My wife's the same way. It's a great shout, man. Semix, let me get some of the other callers in.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for joining, guys. Please go check out the podcast that I just put out 20 minutes ago. And again, scheduling conflict. I know some of you guys are here instead of watching that. So once you're done here, please go watch that. Because we put a lot of effort into it, and definitely subscribe to everybody that's there. But special shout out to Semix because he edited the video. You were up till 2 a.m. Is that right?
Yeah.
Editing the video, and I was up till 5 a.m. my time because I had to put out the Scott McTominay video. So we're doing crazy stuff, guys, just to get the videos out for you. So please show us some love. Thank you, Semix.
Thank you, man. See ya.
All right. Rishi says 3 sweat smiles. By the way, Rishikesh, as a member, why don't you test out some of the emojis, bro? Like I work so hard on putting out the emojis. Let me just try these out myself. Hold on. If I just go footy, why can't I see this? Let me see. Party. Okay, I can't see my own emojis, guys. This is great. Oh, there we go. I can see it now. There, I put all of them out. I don't know if you guys can see that. Great. This shows up as weirdly on StreamYard, but you guys should be able to see it on the YouTube chat because I can see it. Anyways, yeah, please hit the like button, guys, and whoever else wants to join the call, feel free to join. We'll be live for about 40 minutes or so. today. Let me get Raphael into the stream. Raphael, how you doing, my friend? Oh, looks like you just rejoined. Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am well, thanks. What time is it for you? You're in Thailand, right?
Yeah, 121.
Nice, nice. That's the
I just,
commitment, guys. Drop a like for Raphael in the stream. He's doing what I was doing a few hours ago, staying up late
yeah,
to talk about
it's
football.
Isaacson.
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I want to say thank you to you, Andy, because I'm really enjoying your podcasts, and I don't get a chance to listen often online when you're live, but like the ones, particularly like the Goldbridge one you did on the agenda,
Mhm.
perceived agenda around
Bruno,
um, Bruno, and I thought that was really an important one. It didn't get the coverage that you got for the other one before on
the athletic
tar-
one. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, the
Yeah.
Athletic, but it should have done.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Honestly, the YouTube algorithm is as mysterious as it is giving, right? Because honestly, the athletic video, I made that in like 6 hours, maybe not even the most effort I've put into a video, and it just exploded. And I had no control over that. And in hindsight, had I known that it was going to be a big video, I probably wouldn't have made it as well as I did because I'd be overthinking it and all that, right? So the Goldbridge video, yeah, I thought it was going to do better than it did, but I think the people that did watch it, it left a big impression on them because there was a lot of likes on that video, a lot of comments as well. Yeah, the thing is, a lot of the other creators, they're not putting in the same level of effort that I do, that Semix does, that James from the Muppeteers does as well. So people are starting to wake up and smell the coffee in the sense that this guy just turns on the camera and says whatever he wants, whereas these guys are putting in all this effort just to make sure I'm getting the right information, just to make sure that, I'm not being lied to or, just making up some agendas in my head. Because Goldbridge is live, like 5 hours a day on like 10 different channels, right? So I can understand from his perspective too that you're just going to say crap like half the time if you're talking that much on a camera. But that being said, doesn't make it right. So I appreciate your support.
Yeah, no, it was great. I think actually when I saw the three of you, I listened to the three of you, not live, but actually that because you three, I think are the analysts I kind of really respect, about. So you and James and Semix,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that
I
was a great
appreciate
one
that.
too.
Well,
And
there's
I
another one
wanted to,
live that we just posted 20 minutes ago. So after
yeah,
this,
yeah.
actually go get some sleep after this. But when you're awake, you can go watch it.
Thank you, thank you. I wanted to ask you because about this question around Semenyo. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it seems to me a no-brainer because from listening to your analysis, other people, James as well, um, because we have a basic problem on the left side, and at the moment, neither we've got who have we got? We've got Dalot, we've got maybe
Dallo, Dorgu,
Dorgu,
Mazraoui are the three
Mazraoui,
options.
yeah, and none of them are really proven at the moment. On that left side, none of them can even cross. Really,
Yeah.
and and I think as you've said it, and others have said it, if you cancel out us on the right side, we haven't got anything on the left side.
Yeah. Well, think about it this way too, Raphael. For the 6 games of AFCON, we don't have Ahmad, we don't have Mbumo. So the
Mm.
right side that was working is not going to be working
Yeah,
at
yeah,
all.
yeah, yeah.
And now
Exactly.
you have a left side that doesn't work, you have a right side that doesn't work. It seems like you're just not going anywhere, right? Because if both your feet don't work, you're just standing in the same place.
Yeah, and we can't go down the middle, can we?
Yeah, exactly. And so it's going to be a problem. And the reason Semenyo is good, and this is something I said in the podcast, so this is a bit of a preview. I think Sheshko is going to struggle this season because he's got an injury at the wrong time, right? Just as he was kind of getting used to the pace of the Premier League, a knee injury is a big problem, especially for somebody who's like 6'5", right? If you know anything about basketball, like the taller players really struggle with the knee injuries. And he, after being out for a month, he's going to come back. He's going to go back into the let me get adjusted to the pace of the league. Let me get up to speed. And by that time, we're going to be in like month 6 of the year, and he's going to have like 3 goals, 4 goals, and people are going to say, oh, he's a flop. We paid so much money for him. And, the Gary Neville, I told you so types are going to be like, look, I told you this was going to happen. And, the haters are going to keep hating and they're going to be proven right ultimately. And so in that situation, if Semenyo can come in and play as the starting 9 or as the starting 10 and Cunha moves into the 9, he gives us a lot of flexibility to cover for Šeško's, let's say, adaptation time to the league. Because again, let's not forget, for 60 million in Semenyo, we're getting a Premier League proven player. You don't have to worry about the physicality. He's a very strong player. You don't have to worry about the pace. He's got the pace, the technicality, and he seems to be a nice guy, like a humble guy as well. Like he doesn't seem to have like his head in the clouds.
Yeah, and he can play right across the front line. So and Amarin loves these kind of players who can, who are multifunctional in a way.
Yeah,
but
yeah, for sure.
But during AFCON, do you think he could play on the right instead?
Semenyo? Yeah, absolutely. I think he played it from the right for Bournemouth last year, right? Because they still had Ouattara, who they sold to Brentford, I think. And that guy was playing off the left. So yeah, Semenyo he can play all across the front 5 positions that we have. So both wing back, both 10s, and the striker. The question is just whether Amram looks at him and says, I want him to play as the 10 and then keep Cunha as the left, as the 9 and keep Cunha as the left 10 and Mount as the right 10. We have to figure out the combinations, but we've seen him play Mount as the striker as well. So it could be Mount as striker, Semenyo and Cunha as the 2 10s. So Mount playing almost like a false 9. So we have a bunch of options.
Can I ask you another question?
Go for it.
I mean, I don't think it's going to happen because of money, but Casemiro, because of his vision, he's played for Real Madrid at the back. Could he be a backup to, say, De Ligt as a central, in a perfect world, let's say? If he was to
he did play center back for when we had all those injuries under Ten Hag. He did play center back for us, if you remember. Finish your thought. Sorry.
No, that's what one of those, because we're looking at our midfield needs these centre backs to come forward. So he's in a way, he knows that position. He reads the game so well. He doesn't need so much speed if he was a central centre back.
Yeah.
As a backup to De Ligt or an alternative.
It could work, Raphael, but you're talking about me taking my thumb and using it to replace my pinky. You know what I mean? Because I kind of need my thumb where it is. Like I need Casemiro in the midfield because if you've noticed, he doesn't trust Ugarte or Menu at all. He doesn't bring him on even for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, right? So the question is, who can do better than Casemiro in the midfield for Casemiro to then go into this central center?
Sorry, my mistake. I was thinking about next season. If in a perfect world, if we were to keep him on, he was willing to cut his wages. And we're going to get hopefully 2, 3, maybe even midfielders.
Yeah.
Could it be worth keeping him because of his leadership skills, the way he reads the game? We're talking about needing centre backs. I mean, to come forward and support the midfield. Well, in a sense, he already knows the midfield, so he could be a very interesting player potentially, couldn't he? In that context.
I would say if he's willing to slash his wages, then we should keep him regardless of where he plays, because that type of experience is very important for us. In terms of whether he would make sense at center back, I would still rather he be a backup for the central midfield, because him as the starting right back still doesn't right center back or left center back still doesn't give us the pace and the physicality that we need, because he's lost his legs a little bit, right? So it's not a bad shout, but it's also not the best thing I want to do, right? Like from a a squad planning perspective, that wouldn't be my first option. That's my only point. Because I think there's better options out there. We could go get a new player. I think we probably need to buy 2 left center backs because Martinez and Luke Shaw are so injury prone. We can't trust them. So one of them has to go. And can you really trust Aiden Heaven to be a backup right away? So we also we have Maguire, who's also injury prone. And the question is still up in the air whether he stays. So we have 2 center backs already to replace. And if we go replace them, do we need a third like midfielder who needs to move into center back? Probably. It's good to have that option, right? I don't disagree with you. And Amorim has said that once we get used to this system, he is open to changing certain things. So maybe in certain games he decides he doesn't want to play, 3 at the back, or he wants to play a 3-5-2 where he's playing 3 midfielders, right? So maybe Casemiro is one of those midfielders. There could be a bunch of things that he does. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Cyberman says Shaw has played all season, no injuries. When do we trust him again? Never is the answer. I wouldn't trust him to cross the street without getting, falling over. He's 30 years old, man. It's not like a 23-year-old that had a few injuries. And, I would trust Romeo Lavia at Chelsea more than I do Luke Shaw, even though Lavia has been injured almost his entire time since he's moved to Chelsea. I just can't trust Luke Shaw to do anything because knowing him, he's probably playing well for us so he can go play for England, in the World Cup. And then he gets injured in the final and England lose again and Luke Shaw's out for another year. So I'm done with the Luke Shaw dream. And I know he's 30, not 45. I have more faith in Ronaldo at 45 playing consistently than I do with Luke Shaw at 30, just because of his injury history. I'm way too cynical, bro. I go check his injury history. I'm not being cynical. Luke Shaw has been chronically injured. He's a good player, man, but he can't guarantee. If you went and asked him to place a bet, he wouldn't place a bet on him being injury free all season. That's all I'm trying to tell you, because that's just how his body's built. It's not a criticism of him. He can't help it. He can't help it by not going to play for England, but this is just something that happens. What are your thoughts on this, Raphael, on Luke Shaw before I get the next caller in?
I can't forgive Luke Shaw for that last season,
Yeah.
And it does appear like he puts country before club.
Mm-hmm.
And we want players who want to play, as you've been saying, others, and Amrim's saying, I want players who really want to play for me and die for me. Run through brick walls.
Look, Cyberman has a good point in the sense that he has played over 90% of the minutes this season. So I won't disagree with that. He's done a good job of keeping himself fit, and the intensity is high, right? He's had to jump out of defense into midfield, and he's had to do that stuff. But I just look at him like I don't know, like a sports car that's not built to last. It just seems like something that is good when you use it, but then you don't want to overuse it either because it's going to be in the shop, right? And so that's my concern with him. But Raphael, you smashed it, man. I appreciate talking to you, and smash a like for Raphael, guys. Show him some love because it's 1:30 in the morning where he is in Thailand, and he always tries to show up as much as possible. In fact, didn't you leave a comment saying this was going to be too late and you weren't going to be able to show up?
I know. It's insomnia. I couldn't sleep. So
he wanted to see my face before going to sleep.
Andy, can I ask you one more question?
Go for it.
It's on Bruno, actually, because you mentioned about Bruno maybe coming off more. And my feeling is if once there are enough leaders in the team, like people like we've already got in Bueno and Cunha, in a way, Amrin will trust that he can take even another leader like Bruno off.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking that, but the other thing I was thinking is that the thing I noticed about Bruno, do you think he gets fatigued? He plays every single match. Do you think he gets fatigued during matches, in the match itself, at certain moments, and that's where he makes the errors?
No, I don't think the errors that we're upset about, right? The people that complain about Bruno, I don't think those are because of fatigue. It's just oh, you mean like the misplaced passes and all that, like in second half that we're seeing? Yeah, I think that could be because of fatigue, and also, like the one that strikes to my mind is like a wayward pass from Harry Maguire that goes straight into that goes away from Bruno, and then you're asking him in the 75th minute to like be 2 seconds quicker to go get that ball, and it's that is probably true. But I also think Bruno, for what he's being asked to do, is doing a splendid job. I think the team around him, if they were all 5% better, then Bruno would also look a lot better in this team. And I think that's the whole point, right? The Amram system is all about collective responsibility. It's like if you have 8 players giving you 7 out of 10 and 2 players giving you 4 out of 10, that means all 10 players are 4 out of 10 because that's how the system works, right? It's about moving pieces. And it's a lot more total football than people realize it is, right? So Johan Cruyff, I'm sure somewhere is proud of watching the Amram system and the evolution he's bringing. But on that note, Raphael, I'll leave it to the other folks. Thank you so much, man.
Take care.
Cheers. All right, let's bring Rishi to the channel. How you doing, my friend?
Doing good, doing good. I was doing good till someone mentioned that we should give Luke Shaw a chance.
Yeah.
Because I do not trust that brother. I do not trust him. I would rather trust Michael Vick with my dog before I trust Luke Shaw.
Shit, what's that guy's name?
Epstein with
No.
your
I'm
kid.
not going that dark. Who was the West Ham French center back who also played for Chelsea?
Zuma with your cat.
Zuma
Yeah.
with my cat. I would rather trust Zuma with my cat than I would trust
Yeah.
Luke Shaw with his injuries.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely. Zuma with cats. Sean agrees. By the way, Sean, have you fixed your camera, bro? We're going live tomorrow. We have the debate with you and Nelson. I know Nelson's going to be with his Kanye West with Fleek on. You better be there with the Armenian flag wrapped around yourself, bro. Yeah, we'll hear from Sean soon. Anyways, yeah, Rishi. So, how do we feel about Semenyo?
I like Semenyo, dude. I really do, but I have doubts about this deal happening at all. And I don't mean just Semenyo to United. I mean Semenyo to anywhere in this winter. And I'll tell you the reasons. The first reason being that this brother's going to the World Cup. He wants to be settled, right? Because these clubs aren't going anywhere. In fact, the price is reducing in the summer. It's 60 plus 5 now. And everyone, including Ben Jacobs, has said, Ben Jacobs, who's got inside sources on this deal, he said that this deal will be even cheaper in the summer. We don't know how much cheaper. It could be 55 plus 5, or it could be 50 plus 5, it could be 50 plus 10, whatever combination. The deal is cheaper in the summer. That means more money for the agent and for Semenyo, right? And I think this is just they're trying to smoke out all the interested parties. I think that's what is happening. This leak, because it's a release clause, it's supposed to be under a non-disclosure agreement. And I heard Ben Jacobs the other day. He said that if this is under non-disclosure agreement, it's possible that one of the parties that could benefit from this, which is obviously not Bournemouth, but most probably someone from Semenyo's side, has released this information out into the market so that they could smoke out all the interested parties. People could come and approach him. They will make the proposals to him. So he has 6 months to decide what the hell he wants to do with his career. And before he goes to the World Cup in by the end of June or in the first week of July, I think the release clause will be active in the first 2 weeks of July, because that's how all these.
Well, it's also first 2 weeks of January.
First 2 weeks of January, and it will again consequently be active in the first 2 weeks of July. The release clause will be active then, so they have 6 months time to decide what they want to do, and they have 6 months to play off one team against the other. So I think this is a complete smoke show. I personally believe Semenyo is not going anywhere unless someone makes an unbelievable offer for him and says that you want 250K a week. This is when you have to say yes to us, and you have to come right now.
So you're saying even if someone wants to pay the release clause, it's about him agreeing personal terms?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. That's an interesting angle to this, because you're right. Why is it getting leaked? Right? Why is this information getting leaked?
It's not in
Um,
Bournemouth's favor to earn 10 million pounds more right now when they could keep on Semenyo for the rest of the season and
and
actually
get into the Champions League,
guarantee
Europa
get
League.
into any European. They could finish
Yeah.
seventh and get into Conference League. That's an achievement for Bournemouth and more money.
And not just that, you probably attract more players, right? Because that mid tier of player that wants to go to one of these middling clubs, I say that with all due respect. Bournemouth is doing great stuff with their resources than we are. But for those types of clubs, if you have let's say the second or third best player in the championship is deciding which
Yeah,
club they want to move to next year, they
yeah,
would rather go play in Europe, right? Because they've never played Conference League even, right? And that's a great place for them to go shine and maybe get a move to a German club somewhere,
yeah,
and make more money, right? Because Germany pays good
yeah.
wages.
And purely from the perspective of getting Semenyo's replacement, it makes more sense to get him in January, in the summer, than play the inflated price in January. So, I mean, if someone pays the 65 million and Semenyo agrees a lucrative contract, Bournemouth have no say in it. Which is why I feel that it's not from Bournemouth's end that this news is leaked. It's
You
probably
know
from the
what's
players'
interesting
side.
though? The Bournemouth CEO did come out and say that they want to. He said something like, "If Barcelona or Real Madrid come in for Semenyo, who are we to stop him? And if the deal makes sense, we'll let him go." And this was before the release clause news got revealed. So, in my opinion, it's also totally possible that Bournemouth wants this deal to happen now because they isn't there the angle that what if Semenyo doesn't have as good a season this year that he did last year? Because like you said, you sent me the screenshot that he didn't score in the
Yeah,
last 6 games.
I was
Uh,
coming to that. Yeah,
yeah, he hasn't scored in the last 6 games. He could go have
yeah.
a poor rest of the season, and the hype around him goes down, and then Semenyo gets less money, and Bournemouth probably have to negotiate for less than the release clause, right?
So I'll tell you what. Cunha had a fantastic first half of the season last year, and he kind of petered out towards the last 3 months. And he still went for 60 plus million pounds. So a player that's a game changer, who's prem proven, who's available for 65 million. I mean, what's 65 million these days? I mean, they paid 42.5 plus 5 plus 2 million pounds in add-ons for Watara Dango, and Brentford paid that money.
Yeah,
Newcastle paid 55 for
Elanga.
Elanga,
Yeah,
right? They paid 55 for Spurs paid 55 for Kudus, which I think is like a very good price for Kudus, by the way.
yeah, and they
Uh,
also paid a 50 for Brennan Johnson. That was like 2 seasons ago.
yeah, yeah, that was 2 seasons ago, right? And he had just played a season in Forest, if I'm not wrong. So
He came up with them in the championship and then played
right,
maybe a season
played
with
one
them. Yeah,
season. Yeah, but still, like 65 million is a great price. And even if they get like a 55 million, whatever, it's worth that risk for them. They might think that, okay, unless there is an underlying injury. See, what I'm saying is there's no reason for Bournemouth to think that Semenyo will not perform, because what has Semenyo done to show them? He's had a rough patch of 4 games, a lean patch, where he missed one penalty. If he had scored a penalty in that game, it would have been 2 games without scoring or without a goal contribution. It wouldn't have been that crazy, right? So
well,
I think
I
he's
so
just
so Sean says Semenyo will go for a wage bump. See, the thing is, what does Ahmad make right now? Is Ahmad on
120,
150? No,
120
yeah,
plus 30 in bonus. Yeah, 120
yeah.
base.
So he has a package of 150, and if they're viewing Semenyo as a wingback primarily, they're probably going to offer him the same package as Ahmad, maybe a little bit more because he's a little older.
I'll tell
So
you
he,
what, they
yeah,
offered him the Ahmad package in the summer. He said no.
okay,
He found out that they're paying him 70% of what they're paying Mbumo and Cunha, who, by the way, both of them, including the bonus, are making 200k.
yeah,
Cunha's base is a little bit higher because he was making 150 at Wolves anyway. So his base
yeah,
is 180 and his bonus is 20. Mbumo is on 150 plus 50. So he was
yes,
told that he would get 150, which is the Ahmad
package, yeah,
Ahmad package with the bonus, and he said no because I'm worth as much as those guys are. And he's had one of those good seasons, whereas Mbumo and Cunha have had two of those good seasons. And
yeah.
in Mbumo's case, he's been better for longer than that. So he's justified. I mean, your if you know your worth and you believe you're worth that, then fair enough, fair play. And he's shown at the beginning of the season that he's worth exactly as much as Mbumo and Cunha are. So
Yeah. Plus, let's not
fair play
forget,
to him.
guys. When Real Madrid signed Vinicius Jr., I was looking at this yesterday for the podcast. When they signed him at 17 years old, they paid him 130,000 pounds, euros base at 17. That's how much he was making. Okay. And he came from the Brazilian league. He wasn't like Vinicius Jr. at that time. So him asking for 200 when he could easily, like if he went to Bayern Munich, he'd get 200. And why wouldn't Bayern Munich want to sign another winger? Because they might have Harry Kane wanting to leave at the end of the season. And having Semenyo who can play both up front and on the left wing, and you don't have AFCON for a while, and Ghana didn't qualify this time. Maybe they don't next time either. So who knows, right? So absolutely, I think for him to ask for 200 is more than fair.
Yeah.
But the good thing is, in fact, Nate, the great thing is we didn't pay stupid money to Cunha and Mbumo to come to the club.
Yep.
Because
Absolutely.
now they have set the ceiling for what someone like Semenyo can ask for. And it actually, even as a psychological thing, if Semenyo comes to the club, he feels like, okay, I'm at par with the best earners at this club, right? And it's not a situation as before where, you had Rashford on crazy money or you had Sancho on crazy money. And then you have Bruno and Rashford coming in and asking for new contracts, being like, if that, insert expletive here is making that much money, then I should also be making that, such and such money. So I think, Shant is picking up everything we're laying down. I'm glad to see that. Where's Nelson though today, man? I feel like Shant's a little too happy. I want to see Nelson join the chat and take away some of his
someone's
joy.
got to land the planes, right?
Yeah, exactly. But AFCON. Oh, Nelson's here. Thank
Hey,
God.
Nelson, what's up? What's up?
Man,
So happy to see you here.
A close friend of mine is a pilot for Porter Airlines. So please do your job, bro. Let's make sure he gets home safe. Okay. Yeah, Sean's happy that Nelson's here. Awesome. Cool, man. We'll keep it nice and breezy, guys, today. Let's move on from this because actually me and Rishi have got to go record the Stat Patterns podcast and some spicy stuff coming out on it as well. But every single one of you guys that are watching, go check out the podcast we already released with Semix and the Muppeteers. It's a brand new podcast called the Three Devils podcast. I almost forgot. I've just been talking Man United for so long, but it's the Three Devils podcast. The first episode is out now. I have put out a spicy hot take at the end of that. So, little early preview for you guys, but go check it out. And please don't hate me for it, man. Try to understand where I'm coming from. Take 5 seconds, take a breath before you unsubscribe and block my channel. Just try to enjoy it as much as you can. Sean says he's halfway through that. Love listening to it. Yeah, for sure, bro. The podcast is on my channel. You can just go check it out in the video section. But it was a collaboration done with all three of us. And Sean says, I'm ready to debate you on that one, Andy. Okay, let's go, man. Let's go. Tomorrow on the debate show. Oh, yeah. For everyone that's watching as well, tomorrow there's going to be a full 45-minute to 1 hour debate at the same time as this call between Shant and Nelson, and I'm going to be the moderator on that call. So please do tune in because there's going to be some fireworks flying in that call.
Is that live?
And, yeah, it's going to be a live debate. Rishi's finding out the content calendar live too, guys. Love to see it.
It's insane how much stuff you're putting out. It's madness. We are going to record the Stat Padders podcast immediately after this. And it looks like it's going to be 2 episodes because we've got like a mega topic for you guys. Something that we've been discussing for the longest time. And
no.
relevant
Be honest, Rishi. It's something that he wants to get off his chest. And the second I suggested it, this man spent 2 days writing the script for the podcast. That's why we're 2 days late. So if you want to blame anybody and thank anybody, both go towards Rishi.
Well, don't thank me yet. I mean, let's see what we put out, and maybe in the comments you guys can tell us what you think about it.
Yeah.
That's coming out tomorrow too. Yeah.
Well, tomorrow for Rishi, but tonight for everybody else on this side of the world.
Tomorrow for me. Yeah.
Well, also today for you because it's past midnight.
Oh yeah, true. That's true.
Yeah. Anyways, cool. See you guys later, man. Thank you guys for joining. We'll be back here again at 1
Right.
p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. UK, same time as today, for the debate with Shant and Nelson. I'm going to bully Shant as much as I can to fix his video, but we'll figure it out. We'll be there. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.